Mm.
But let's get it cracking. Caesar, we got the big news today that a new equal pay agreement between the United States men's and women's teams has happened. I'm going to read a little bit of this article. U.S. Soccer has announced the teams will pool their World Cup prize money along with their share of television and sponsorship revenues. U.S. Soccer President Cindy Parlow Cone said that recently. We know that in 2019, the women filed a lawsuit and they got a settlement, which included a $24 million payout. But now it seems like most of the women's soccer players have said that this is a historic agreement. The deal runs till 2028. And it also guarantees that the women's team will play at equal quality venues, stay in hotels of the same standard, and be given an equal number of charter flights to travel to games. As a part of the deal, the men's team will now receive childcare benefits, which the women's team have had for more than 25 years. So men are still coming up, it seems. But yeah, what do you think about this deal?
It's landmark. It's huge. I think that I'm someone that, especially in the last couple of years, I've kind of really gotten a passion for like labor and union, and like that's kind of like what I really enjoy reading up on and seeing. Like I've really been invested in a lot of the union movement that's been going on in America in general lately. That's been huge for me. And I think a good proponent for that is like a lot of player unions that happens in sports. It's a good example of it as well. So I think this is something big because funny, and like basically our entire time on this podcast, we've talked about the pay disparity. We've talked about, we even shouted out Luna bars here before. We go way back on this, and to the point when we started, this was how we felt. We felt it should be equal pay when we first started doing this. Then we grew into believing that actually the women should be paid more. Like that's something that we actually think that it's like, that's great. But honestly, they should get paid more because even when they put the two badges up, one of the badges has a bunch of stars for wins and none of them is blank as hell. So that's a big win for the women. A lot of them have gotten a lot of flack over the years. Check out the comment section on some of the stuff. It's absolutely atrocious. Just all these people that think they're so right and entitled to their opinions about women not deserving equal pay. Well, clearly they do because a deal was settled. And I'm happy for the women. You know, of course, men came out with something at the end, not surprised. But it's good to know that they're going to be getting equal pay, and especially know that the women are going to win way more. They're going to be able to really reap the benefits of this, and I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for them too. It's going to be great for them moving forward. But hopefully the real equity happens soon where they get paid more. The men's national team is still trash. We'll see how they perform in this World Cup. If they do good in this World Cup, maybe I'll be like, okay with this more. But if they don't, then I'm going to be like, nah, women got to get paid more. This was unfair treatment. And they should file another damn lawsuit.
I mean, they barely got into this one, so.
Yeah, they should file another lawsuit.
Yeah.
If the men are bad in this next World Cup, the women need to file another lawsuit, and I'll represent them.
Yeah, I know. We will go hard for them if we're still around.
Me and Kim Kardashian, we both didn't pass the bar.
Yeah, you still get it cracking though.
But I do think that it is historic. Aside from that, I do think it's historic. It's something that they fought for a long time. Although this person is going through some personal troubles right now, Hope Solo was a big proponent of that. I don't know where her politics have gone recently, but aside from that,
I know where it's gone.
That's unfortunate. But aside from that, like back in the day when we were rocking with her, she was a big proponent for equal pay. And I think that not only was she a big proponent, she was actually she was trying to audit the USSF mafia. And I thought that was like a big deal because when you start talking about auditing like some $1 billion situation, you're putting your life at risk. So I think like she was, I don't want to say she's the one that started it necessarily because I don't know that, but like I know she was putting pressure on them, and that was in 2017 because that was in 2018. But I remember for sure in 2017 was when we were talking about the women should get paid more. And I want to say that was within the first 15 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, once again, groundbreaking. Hopefully it becomes the case around the world where like anywhere where the women's national team is better than the men's national team, the women should get paid at least the same or if not more. There's only a few countries where you can say that really. And yeah, they deserve it. Norway did it, I think in 2018 or 19, I want to say. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that was really dope too, that what she did was like she didn't just say like, oh, equal pay, but she's like, she talked about how she was one of the big people that had conversations about how there's how expensive it is. She talked about how there's so much money in this sport and there should be something that should be audited and see where the money's going, because clearly they can definitely pay the women more.
Caesar, you might, I don't know if you remember, we were talking about like where is all this money? Like when we were kind of breaking down the numbers, we were kind of like, well, damn, dude, it seems like the USSF mafia gets like $1 billion, like billions of dollars.
No, it's billions every year. They get a lot of government funding too.
Like at least from like people paying to play soccer, it's like I think they get like billions. Like
They do. No, they absolutely do. It's huge. It's actually one of the like richest. It's one of the richest national teams in the world. Isn't that crazy?
and literally garbage, except for the women.
Yeah.
They have to fight for equal pay. That goes to show you that misogyny is real.
Yeah.
And sexism. But Caesar, speaking of an ism, you got one of your favorite players.
Oh, real quick, breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Frankfurt has won the Europa League.
Okay, that's good.
That's my update.